There we go! Welcome you guys to game number 1. Second decider match of the day, Liereyy versus Valas. We're gonna be switching colors once again. Liereyy in the red, Valas in the blue. For civilizations, it's gonna be Hindustanis versus Byzantines. We knew this coming into the games. And well, Valas with Hindustanis, he's gonna choose to ignore Franks on Kawasan. And Lierey's got Byzantines over here, so Franks would have been a very good choice because of all the additional berries that are available over here, plus the cheaper castles means that usually you're going to be able to go for a castle in the castle edge forward, try to get control of the center and get a lot of extra resources from the berries. But now with Hindustanis, it's not going to be the case. Instead, Valas is opening with archers. And Liereyy, he's got a second archer range on the way. So he's opening with archers again. Now, Byzantines, they do have cheaper counter units. Skirmishers, spear line units, and camera units are amazing. Are very cheap, 25% cheaper for the Byzantine civilization. We'll see. Here we go. Nice trade over here. 2 for 1 so far, favoring Valas. Now the scout goes down. And Lierey's looking a little bit better. It's very early into the game. Liereyy already has 4 military units compared to 1 from Valas, and even though he ends up losing the scout over here, it seems to me that he should end up cleaning out the archer over there. And just out of the blue, all of a sudden, Valas is down to 1 military unit only. Liereyy is looking very, very strong over here, already amassing a 200-point lead over Valas from very early on. And there we go. A little bit of extra pressure coming out from Mr. Liereyy over here, starting to push villagers away from the Ibex. The extra archers coming in over here. And the thing about Liereyy though is that his unit control is so good. And you can see it in action right now. 1 villager down. And he's been able to survive with these archers for so long against the skirmishers. It's amazing. Let's get on the hill right now with some skirmishers coming in. Lierey's army composition is so much better. Then on top of that, the unit control over here, the hill advantage is so good for Liereyy. We'll see both players go up to the castle edge very soon. Valas, even though he ended up taking a few losses over there, even though he ended up losing the first villager, will be able to go up to the castle edge at about the same time as Liereyy. As a red player, you know, uncharacteristically is gained about 26 seconds of idle TC time. Very unlike him. Usually Liereyy is the kind of player to keep up with intense micro and at the same time keep the TC working behind the scenes, keep the macro going pretty smoothly, but that's not been the case over here. Hey Gingerbeard! Hi. We might see another villager go down over here as Liereyy clicks up to the castle edge. We're gonna see Valas trail hot on his heels. And this is about the time to take a look at Lierey's unit control once again. Yeah, and there's a way he dodges the shots from Valas, gets closer, and shoots to make sure that his shots do land. So in the end, Valas will end up losing all the skirmishers, and Liereyy keeps all his skirmishers alive, only now losing 1 to the villager. The archers coming in over here might be able to get another villager down, and Liereyy is in a position to get an incredible lead very early on. Less than 8 minutes into the game, he's already doing so much damage over here. Even if he's not getting too many villagers down, he's pushing them away from goal. He's getting idle villager time, and then he's also pushing from behind with a second wave of units. Additional archers coming in on the center as well, and Valas is, oh man, just falling behind even further. The score lead has extended to 500 points. Ahead for Liereyy. And he'll probably end up getting yet another villager over here. I wouldn't be surprised if this game was over in the next, like honestly, in the next 2 minutes, tops. Because Lierey's military lead right now is substantial. He's managed to get 3 times the military compared to Valas. And then you might say, okay, well, Valas has gotten to the castle edge faster, but it's a very, actually, that isn't even true. Liereyy gets to the castle edge faster, so you might say, well, Valas, he's got the double stables already up, so you might go for camels over here. And yes, he can do that, but Liereyy already has spearmen over here. He's got a substantial amount of archers, so with a meat shield over here, even if it's not too many units, you should be able to take care of the camels pretty easily. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, they're still dominating over here. There's basically no access to gold for Valas right now, so even though he was able to get some camels out, that shouldn't be the case for much longer than this. If he ends up losing the camels over here, he won't be able to keep on going for anymore. Now, the unit control for Liereyy was not the best over there. The spearmen went for the most part standing ground, so they were not really doing any damage to the camels. Valas is able to hold on like this. Liereyy did go for a second TC at the center though, and he's got a monastery coming up. Because all 5 relics are available at the center of the map as well, this is extremely good for the red player. Well, if we take a look at the town center towards the southwest, it's coming up for Valas, so the second TC is on the way for him, but Liereyy already managed to get an 8 villager lead. He's gotten 4 villagers from Valas, and then the rest are coming in through the extra TC villager production. You know, Liereyy doesn't need to play 100% defensive over here. Byzantines are a civilization that scaled pretty nicely. However, if he goes for a siege workshop, he might be able to just seal the deal over here. And Valas is surprising that he was able to survive for this long. The counts in the end did end up working for the most part. Lierey's unit control was not the best over there, otherwise it might have been a completely different story and Valas probably would have ended up losing everything. But Liereyy got the lead because of that a little bit. Now he's coming forward once again a few minutes later with crossbows, pushing villagers away from woodline. And Valas, he still has a backwood, although not the most efficient by the location of the lumber camp over there. One thing that's worth noting for Valas though is that the second TC he got up, it's not only next to the wood but also next to the gold, so he can get access to gold once again. Well, that was not the case before. And Liereyy, getting control, ends up getting the skirmisher over here, but ends up getting pushed away. On the right hand side, Liereyy should be able to take care of these camels, no problem. Once again, yeah, you see, spearmen are not the best unit. They are a field age unit, but they are still gonna deal a lot of damage to the camels when they actually engage. Let's take a look at Lierey's mangle over here if he can land a good shot. It's gonna try, and Valas knows. He realizes, so he bails immediately. And Lierey's going to land a good shot! He's got the mantle over there still. Going after the TC right now. And the great thing about Lierey's unit control is notice how he kept the crossbows a few tiles behind the mantle, because that's always going to prevent the skirmishers from closing the gap. And if there are any camels coming out from Valas' stable over here, they're not going to be able to get more than just one hit on the mantle before going down to the crosses. So this pressure from Liereyy is great. He's got 2 mantles with the second one moving forward, and he's got a 3rd mantle on the way. So I said Liereyy does not need to play aggressive, but if he does, he's in a very good position to do so. Now he's got an outpost coming up forward as well. The 3 mantles, it's not gonna take too long for the TC to go down. Valas doesn't really have anything going for him, and in that sense, that's just going to be a regular old TC for him. And while we do see a counter strike coming up over here from Valas, he gets completely shot down by Lierey's mantle over here. Well done. Then taking a look at the left hand side. Yeah, boy, this is interesting for sure. Yeah, TC goes down and Valas does not want to keep on going, so Liereyy less than 17 minutes into the game. To be fair, I would have understood if Valas had called the GG even before we got to the field age, but even before we got to the castle age, sorry, but that was so dominating for Liereyy. That was incredible. He was collecting almost enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age as well, so well done. Nearly won, Valas nil. Let's take a look at the achievements before hopping back out. We'll see that for military, the KD is favoring Liereyy, getting close to 3-2 KD ratio. We have an army high of 26 military units for Liereyy versus 16, actually 12 for Valas. I cannot even read. For the economy instead, there is a 3,811 resource collection lead for Liereyy over Valas, collecting significant more than 55% of the resources throughout the game. And for society, a higher worker count for Liereyy as well. He ends up collecting, or he ends up getting 11 extra villagers for the villager max count over here, and did not lose a single villager throughout the game. If you take a look at Valas, on the other hand, he ended up losing 7 over here. That is not a massive amount, but he struggled to keep the production going at the same level as Liereyy, mainly because of Lierey's second TC coming up earlier as well. Several things going in favor of the Austrian player over here. Meanwhile, Valas, on the other hand, he struggles, and he's going to have to really clutch it up. His opponent is not an easy one, and games 2 and 3 will be just as hard as game number 1. Let's go, guys. Everyone, welcome to game number 2. Here's got Cumans, Valas got Bohemians. We knew this was what we were going to get. There's the Albedax coming in for Liereyy right away from the get-go. There's the Albedax coming out for Valas over here as well. So what is the opening in terms of military? There's a stable on the way for Liereyy. And Valas instead, Valas is opening with no military buildings whatsoever, despite the fact that these cat Bohemians over here are just going to try and play defensive by the looks of it. I don't see galleys coming out. He's just spearmen over here. So he's expecting Liereyy to make a play for scouts, and Liereyy will oblige. The first scout already queued up. Liereyy will be moving forward very soon, and Valas will. He should have the spearmen to defend himself, but playing defensive against Liereyy with scouts, you know, with spearmen against Liereyy scouts, just not seem like it's going to be strong enough. As you can see, Liereyy already gets the first kill over there very early into the game. 2 minutes into it, 1 village down already, and Lierey's gonna keep on fishing for extra exposed economy. When he starts bringing extra scouts as well, that should put him in a pretty good spot. Taking a look at the left-hand side. Yeah. Valas is gonna struggle over here to defend against Liereyy, who has gone for some navy as well. He's got galleys over here, so he'll be putting pressure both on land and on water. Let's see if Liereyy can get some fishing ships down over here. Even if you cannot take the fishing ships down right away necessarily, it's still going to be alright if you can just keep the fishing ships idle, and it seems like that's going to suffice for the time being. Oh, there we go. Galley going down, and Liereyy not really able to do too much damage with the scout anymore. Yeah, you know what? Valas ended up losing 2 villagers, and that's going to be about it for the time being. Now, both players will instead try to focus towards going out to the castle, and Valas is going to be the first one to go there. He spent a lot less resources in the field age going for any military, so this should allow him to be the first player to click up to the castle age, of course. Not having gone for military, though, means that he will kind of struggle for map control. And Liereyy, well, Lierey's got all 4 fishing ships working. He's got the galleys preventing Valas from working as well. And back home, he's got a market coming up. He doesn't really need it. He should be able to go up to the castle age very soon anyway. But if he gets the market up over here, that's gonna allow him to boost or to accelerate his castle age a little bit. Should allow him to click up a little bit earlier, but not by too much. Yeah, there we go. Definitely could have clicked up already if he sold 100 additional resources and bought the food, but he's going to choose to go up the more efficient way instead. That will set him back a little bit though, and if you take a look at the up times, there is a minute and 15 seconds lead already for Valas. Now, what can he do? He's got 100 stone, so that should be enough for him to go for the second TC once he gets to the castle age, assuming that he does get the wood. And that should be enough for him to start pulling. Or actually not even pulling a villager lead. That should be enough for Valas to start catching up. So if he does not go for the extra TC, he's just going to be perpetually behind the villager count. And the only way back for Valas into this game is going to be full aggression. Bohemians are a very strong civilization though. In the castle age, we get access to chemistry. We get access to hand cannoneer. Those are extremely strong units against castle age units. But he's going for the stable right now. So it's going to open over here with knights. And I am not really sure how I feel about this. If he's going to go for military and just confine his production to one building at a time, seems like it's not going to be particularly efficient to me. He does have a second TC coming up, but Liereyy is going to be in the castle age very soon. He should be able to go for an additional TC if he wanted to as well. And what I'm very curious about though is what will Liereyy do once he gets up, because just like in the previous game, he does not necessarily need to play offensive right now, but at the same time playing with Cumans and not going for the second TC when he had the resources to do so while on his way to the castle age indicates to me that Liereyy is going to want to play aggressive over here. And the question is thus, what is it that Liereyy wants to go for? At this point in time, he's got double archer ranges, which is great for Cumans. They do come in at 75 with cheaper. He's got a crossman upgrade, blocking arrow upgrades coming in, as well as a bunch of archers forward. So you might be able to break through over here very soon, potentially start harassing Valas' economy. Then back home, the knights coming in from Valas, and he might be able to get a village down over there. He's targeting the villager with 2 cavalry units, and he will get 1, he will get 2. Valas gets the second villager over there. Still behind an equal KD to Liereyy. A 3-2 favoring the Austrian Wonderkid, but yeah, Valas is opening with some good damage over there with the castle age units. Interestingly enough though, he's not really going for any extra military. He's gone for the 1 knight, he's gotten damage with it, and that's about it. He's not really going for much of anything else. And Liereyy on the other hand is in a very similar situation as well. He's only now going for the second TC. He's gone for crossbows, he's gone for archers, he's got crossbows right now, but he's not really following that up with much of anything. Only now, he's given a few extra archers, but at this point in time, Valas managed to get a 3rd TC up. He managed to catch up in worker count compared to Liereyy, and now he's going to start pulling the lead for himself. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the worker count. Actually, not even the worker count, the gallery economy time is so much higher for Liereyy. And that's gotta be because of the fishing ships as well. Certainly helps. It's really good from Liereyy though still, just sitting here with the archers will end up costing so much idle time for Valas. Yeah, we'll play. Liereyy doesn't end up losing a few crosses over here. He's gonna try to get some villagers down though. Good unit control. Really good unit control from Liereyy. Here you are. Tries to bail, cannot really do it, and now the Scorpion is certainly going to help alleviate this pressure coming up from Liereyy against Valas. Beautiful. In the end, Liereyy does end up getting cleaned up over here. Does manage to get some idle villager time though at Valas, and there's a little pause over here. Liereyy had gone for a forward siege workshop. I imagine this is probably a pause from Liereyy. I'm going to confirm. No, it was actually from Valas. So it's good that Lierey's not having any technical issues anymore. At the very least, nothing major enough to pause the game for in any case. Regardless, Lierey's crosses are coming up forward. on the right hand side, and Siege Workshop on the left hand side. It's gonna start putting some pressure with mangonels. Very soon he's gonna have the second one coming out, and he's got already one. Let's see. Fantastic. 2 mangonels already for Liereyy. It's going forward. Beautiful. Great pressure. Third mangonels on the way. Now Lierey's got some knights. Over here, the monastery is up right next to the siege workshop, so he's got some monks coming in. That's a nice mango shot from Valas. He cannot unfortunately land a good second shot over there though, but now he does. That's going to be 2 for 0. The mangonel trade over there, make that 2 for 1. Conversion over there comes up though for Valas. He does manage to delete the knight before it gets converted back, and 1 extra villager goes down over here from Valas. Now keep in mind that Liereyy is not only putting pressure from the left, but also from the right. 1, 2, 3 villagers dead from Valas on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side he did end up losing 1 extra villager over here. If Liereyy plays his cards right, he should be able to get the TC down over here. He's already managed to take it down to 845 HP only, so it's not gonna take too long for 2 magnets to get the TC down. There we go. Good mango shot from Lierey's, from Valas. Rather, is not going to be strong enough, unfortunately. And now we have 3 mana taken on the TC, and the TC crumbles from Valas, who's going to react with a defensive castle. The castle is huge for Valas. It will put a stop to Lierey's push in the castle edge. And you know what? Valas still retains that villager lead, so if he gets the castle up over here, that's going to be absolutely game-changing. Liereyy cannot make it on time to prevent the castle from coming out, so he does end up bailing over here, and that means that from the left-hand side, Liereyy cannot do anything anymore. The only way for him to keep on putting pressure over here is going to be going around Valas' base and start putting pressure from the front of Valas' base or from the right-hand side of the Bull player's base. Meanwhile, Lierey's got a 30C coming up on the right-hand side, and Valas actually does have a knight over here. He's just going to guard this area with and should be able to prevent Liereyy from getting any TCs up over there. And as a matter of fact, where are Lierey's villagers? Oh, okay, there we go. He's sending 4 villagers over to build the center TC. So as we noted earlier, there is no way for Liereyy to keep on pushing from the left-hand side. He's moving over to the center now. He's bringing all the mangonels. He's bringing the monks, he's bringing the knights, and he's gonna start putting pressure against the TC from the center. He does manage to get down the fishing ships from Valas though. Let's take a look at this. Lierey's going to get the knight. Demolition raft on the way. We're gonna keep track of the HP. 1 mana is going down over there. And now Liereyy will end up losing the villagers here. Not quite. He loses 1, but then he takes the knights down as well, so it's gonna be fine. He was left on 3 mangonels still, so that is very significant. The monks, from what I can see though, they are not here anymore from Liereyy, so it seems like he ended up losing those to the fire ship probably. In the end, he still retains 3 mangonels. Valas got the demolition raft garrison. It seems like Lierey's gonna try and make a play for the right-hand side instead. He's got almost enough resources to click up to the Imperial Age. He's got a siege shot coming up on the right-hand side and in the neutral gold. And Valas instead. Valas' population is a little bit higher. He does have significantly more villagers. And he's gonna get a castle up over here, but This castle defense play from Valas, while it's very strong and it prevents Liereyy from doing any damage in the castle edge per se, it's a lot of resources that he's invested into defenses. While Liereyy, on the other hand, he's utilized those resources, he saved those for the most part in order to go up to the Imperial Age earlier. So now, once Liereyy gets there, especially if he's able to get a castle up, which given the amount of stone miners he's got, and the amount of time it's going to take for him to get to the Imperial Age, he should be able to get a castle up before he gets to the next stage. He should be able to start pumping trebuchets and get the castle down over here. So, just trying to analyze a few minutes into the game from this point onwards, Lierey's in a fantastic spot. Despite the fact that he's on a lower worker count by about 15. Despite the fact that if we take a look at gather economy time over here, the lead for Liereyy actually shouldn't be a thing. But Valas has been struggling to keep his economy working effectively, so Liereyy managed to get a gather economy time lead over here, which is very interesting. So he didn't use the resources to go for castles, and instead he goes out to the Imperial Age. He had more gather economy time. There we are. Castle's here for Liereyy. Beautiful. Imperial Age is gonna be here for Liereyy in a moment, while Valas is going up to the Imperial Age himself. He is behind by about 54 seconds. But he does have chemistry coming up, so that means once he gets to the Imperial Age, he'll be able to go straight into bombard cannons, while Liereyy, of course, with Cummins does not get access to that, and he can just go for trebuchets. Regardless though, Imperial Age is here, and Liereyy, first thing, queues the trebuchet up. Right hand side, there's a siege workshop. From Liereyy coming up, the defensive one. The second castle on the way for Liereyy will double his trebuchet production potential. Now, Valas already has 2 castles, but of course he's only getting to the Imperial Age in a moment. And most importantly, Valas is most likely not going to just make a play for bombard cannons regardless. It's going to be much more effective against trebuchet, and we'll see about that. On the right hand side, Lierey's push though. He's getting some villagers down over here. Valas realizes about it. Cannot really garrison everyone though. Plus the crossbows from Liereyy. This army from the red player will end up taking a bunch of villagers down. There we go. PC crumbles from Valas. He's got the bombard cannon over here though. Bombard cannons, I should say, 2 so far. No hoof needs to upgrade, so these are just standard bombard cannons. Meanwhile, Lierey's already finished researching Cavalier. He's got plate bar and armor, about to finish researching, and Valas got plate mail armor as well for infantry. So for that halberdier. Keep in mind that for Bohemians, spearline units, and that includes halberdier and pikemen of course, they do deal 25% higher bonus damage. So they are going to completely shred cavalry. Gets the crumbles though in the end from Valas. Lierey's keeping his own castle up. And then on the left hand side, he doesn't really have much of anything else going on anymore. It seems like he ended up losing the villager over here as well. No, he's got the villager still. But anyway, another castle coming up for Valas on the right hand side, right next to the one he lost. This is extremely important for Valas to keep position the right hand side, because if he does not have a good military presence over here, he is effectively out of gold. This map makes the neutral goals on the sides extremely important. If you take a look at the current resource view in the minimap, there is only one tile of gold left for Valas, worth about 110 gold. Once that's out, that's it. If he does not manage to get control back over here, by the time he runs out of gold, currently he's at less than 400 gold, and he's not going to be able to keep on going for more military units anymore. And notice that Liereyy realizes, he recognizes the situation, he already has control of the left hand side, he knows it. So if he keeps Valas away from the right hand side, he is going to significantly out-sustain the blue players. So he dives in with a Cavalier to take down the Trebuchets, and that puts him in a very good spot. Of course, now Valas is trying to get the counter raids on the left hand side. He's even going to try to get a castle up over here, but whether he's going to get it up or not, that's an entirely different matter, of course. Yeah, he gets completely pushed away from the right hand side, so the only way back for him over here is just getting control of the left hand side, which still does not have fortifications from Liereyy. But check this out! Liereyy uses the market pretty heavily to get enough stone to get a counter castle up. And because he's got control of the right hand side, if he can prevent Valas from getting the castle up on the left hand side, that could very well be GG. And Valas is going to bail from here. He's gonna try and relocate the castle elsewhere. Incredible reaction from Liereyy. And Valas is getting the castle up over here. I'll tell you what the problem with this is though. This castle location from the blue player doesn't do anything. It prevents Liereyy from potentially collecting some of the gold over here, but it does not secure anything for him. So while Valas will manage to get the castle up over here, this isn't really buying him much of anything. Take a look at this range. The castle from Liereyy is still preventing Valas from collecting resources, right? Like the blue player manages to find just the one square of gold, the one tile of gold over here that's beyond 3 tiles of gold over here beyond the range of Lierey's castle, but Lierey's just going to go for a counter castle himself because he's in a much better spot. He buys whatever he needs to keep a lead in this game, and now with the second castle coming up, it's quite clearly going to be over as Valas cannot collect from any golds anymore. And as Liereyy got the castle out first on the left hand side, it's also going to be the first player to start pumping Trebuchet, and that means that Valas' castle is going to fall very soon. So Valas tried, he's tried really hard, but Lierey's castle over here effectively makes it impossible for Valas to get resources anymore. Like he cannot get gold from the left hand side. He got pushed away from the right hand side. He does not have any gold anymore left back home. So after this castle crumbles, wouldn't be surprised to see Valas call the GG, and the castle will crumble no matter how many villagers Valas tries to divert towards repairing it, as we have 6 trebuchets from Liereyy targeting the castle. So it seems like it's going to be over, and Liereyy will be moving on to the quarterfinals, joining 6 out of 5 other players, while Valas unfortunately seems like he is on the brink of collapse over here at the end of the road in Bull Wololo Legacy. And while he did get to the decided match, that's going to be about it for him. Pretty good result though for the Bull player still. Liereyy doesn't lose in a castle over here, doesn't matter. Most likely not. He can go for another castle in the same location. Yeah, and it's not like Valas got anything over here to follow up the pressure with, right? So 200 population for Liereyy. Valas gonna keep on trying, giving it his all for game number 2 against all odds. Liereyy does have the castle coming up that I was talking about. He can just go for it. It's got 25 stone miners as well, so you can go for more castles even if this one crumbles too. Doesn't seem like it should be the case. We don't really have too much in terms of pressure from Valas anymore, just the one trebuchet, but yeah, if Liereyy needed to go for extra castles, he should be able to do so without any issues. Blast Furnace coming in for Valas. Just banking on the extra bonus damage from the Bohemian Spear line units, but doesn't seem like it's going to do too much. It'll work against cavalry for sure, but now Lierey's making a transition into militia line units, so we have Lone Swordsman upgrade on the way. He's got the Iron Casting upgrade. Arson is on the way. He's got ballistics. Ballistics gonna be for the fortification so that he can just make better use of the castles, but that's about it. And for the most part, what Lee really wants to get into right now is a good amount of lone swords, right? Potentially 200 swordsmen. He's playing Cumin. Yeah, and he's got a good amount of units coming out already. Nice. We have... Are these Hubnitsa? These are Hubnitsa already from Valas. Well, Dawn has got siege engineers. Where's Valas getting gold from, by the way? He's got 5 gold miners. You wouldn't expect the Bull player to be able to afford Hubnitsa at all. Not just the unit, but also the upgrade. Oh, he's not on the right hand side, but Liereyy noticed. Did he notice actually? I'm not really sure, but he saw the barracks over here. And he's just going for the castle just in case. And this will be good enough for him to take the villages down, and that will... You know, he's just at this point just playing whack-a-mole with Valas. Valas just manages to find the spot to get resources from, and Leary's going with the Warhammer over here. The Castle Hammer over here, just ready to shatter Valas' hopes. There you are. Yeah, we have 200 swordsmen, and the champion upgrade's 20 seconds away, so very soon Leary's champions will be fully upgraded. He's got only 10 seconds to wait for Blast Furnace as well, so that's gonna be extra attack. He's got all the defense upgrades. He's got Arson. He's got champion. He's got pretty much uncontested gold access over here as well, so it shouldn't be too difficult for him to keep on going. If Valas had maybe Dravidians, I guess perhaps the Halberdier play over here could be effective if they ignore armor, but we are talking about Bohemian Halberdier over here, which the only thing that they have going for them is extra bonus damage compared to standard spear line units, but obviously if you're not fighting against units that get affected by that bonus damage, it doesn't matter, so the champion over here will still take the Halberdier down without any issues, and Liereyy knows that. He's going pretty heavily into them. And Cannoneer coming out for Valas though, I like that. Problem though is Valas doesn't really have the means to keep on producing the units anymore, so from this point onward it's going to be a landslide. If Lierey's able to get just a few of the hand Cannoneer down, Valas cannot replenish this army. He can go for Halberdier forever, but he cannot go for hand Cannoneer. Very good unit control from Valas though, utilizing the Hubnitsa to get the champions down. And I would guess probably it's been more cost effective for Valas, the trades he's been taking so far, but yeah, still Liereyy shouldn't really struggle too much over here. He probably needs to increase production potential a little bit more though. How many barracks do we have for the red player? Okay, never mind. 11 should be about fine, should do the trick. Castle's going down from Liereyy. You know what? You know what? No way! The Valas is pulling this game back! Is he? Kentrik's on the way for Liereyy. He's got ring archer armor now. I'm just gonna try to dive in and take the Hubnitsa. They've certainly been a very, very problematic unit for Liereyy to deal with. Valas is pushing back over here. Man, this would be the comeback of the day for sure if Valas was able to pull this one. If he was able to pull this one off, he's taking the TC down and no way! Liereyy doesn't have a hold of the left-hand side anymore, so Valas is here. He's just trying to go out to the villages over here with the Kashix, trying to prevent Valas from getting access to gold once again, but Valas already has started to collect the gold quite heavily. Now on the right-hand side, we have the champion still from Liereyy moving in. There's a TC over here that's Garrison, so it should be able to take care of the champion just fine. And then on the left-hand side, the Halberdier actually clutching it up really well. Between the Halberdier and the fantastic unit control of Valas and the fantastic use of the Huvnitsa, he's been able to get a lot of damage done. And notice how Lierey's gotta pay attention to the Huvnitsa all the time. One big shot that he takes from these units can result in a substantial amount of his army going down. So he's going after them right away. He's going to get one down, still 3 left to go. He cannot really get them all. These are not Mangodai, these are Kashix, Kipchaks. But he does end up getting 2. Still 2 more to go for Valas. Fantastic. Beautiful. Yeah, Lierey's trying to gain control of the left-hand side back. This time he does not really have any fortifications. Instead, he's just going to give it a go with brute force over here. Military power. Gets another Huvnitsa. Valas is only on 7 gold miners, so he cannot really afford to take these losses yet. And Lierey's getting an elite Kipchak right now as well, which boosts the Kipchak attack by 1. Not only the gold access, but Lierey's also the only player with access to relics currently. He ended up collecting all 5 relics, so even that's gonna be kind of out of the cards for Valas. Oh, he's struggling to keep population, by the way. 140 right now for the Bull player, while Liereyy on the other hand is on 181. Pretty good unit control. He's using the scatter formation as well. Make sure he does not take unnecessary damage over here in case he does end up taking some hits from the Huvnitsa. And we still have 4 over here from Valas. The thing though is, Liereyy has had uncontested control of the right hand side. And he's been contesting the left hand side. Or rather, Valas has managed to contest the left hand side. But Lierey's still very much in the driver's seat over here. There's got more raids coming up on the right hand side as well with the champion over here. We've seen this be the case for quite a while, and he's just going to keep on putting pressure, so Valas cannot even, you know, be in peace back home. He needs to take care of that at the same time as he's taking care of all the units forward on the left hand side. And still the difference in population is growing larger and larger as Valas drops under 130 population. Lierey's gonna get to 200 very soon. He's going above 190 population right now. Valas, 70 population below. We'll call it GG as Liereyy ends up taking game number 2, but not without having to fight for it. Valas, fantastic performance over here, all things considered. Struggles. And Liereyy will be the one moving on to the quarterfinals, while Valas is going to see the end of the road over here. So let's take a look at the achievements one more time before hopping back out and taking a look at what we get in terms of interview. And hopefully getting some more footage before we jump into the next series, alright? We'll still have 2 more series to go. We'll see which one is coming up next. But for the time being and taking a look at the military, the KD for Liereyy was very good, and even though it was not the most cost effective as he was trading for Halberdier for the longest time, it was still good enough for him to take the game, especially because of the economy being so much stronger for him, especially in gold, in regards to gold. About 11,000 extra gold for Liereyy allows him to offset for the less than ideal KD and still overpower Valas. Society is going to show us also 44 villages going down for Liereyy throughout this game. And Valas, on the other hand, ended up losing 102, so much better for Liereyy in that regard as well. Now, that's going to be about it. I'm just very curious about the APM, so I'm going to take a look at it very quickly. 122 for Liereyy. Hot damn. And now let's go back and let's see what we get.